Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So we had the flag break earlier in the week. We had this acceleration to the downside, and as I said yesterday, not really looking for opportunities to short down here, just based on the diversions we were seeing. You can see we've now got a crossover on the 8-hour, and we're sort of retracing our steps a little bit. Now, important to understand that we are in a downward trend. It's only when we start breaking above the highs of this week that we can start thinking of potential trend reversals or along. At the moment, every pullback has been sold. Now we are approaching a level, and that's this fractal from earlier in the week. And you can see how we are sitting right in that area at the moment. This flag still hasn't played out. I think that is important to understand. And the other thing that is really important to understand is flag breaks are often retested. So what we're looking for is a retest of the flag, and it could be where we are now or a little bit higher up at 12824. So pretty much the same narrative as yesterday, looking for a bit of structure. I just want to modify this just above where the actual measured move is. And then if I just look at this on the weekly, you can see there is structure on the weekly. So we've got weekly fractals. Look to the left here, you can see a lot of potential area for support. So there's been support and resistance in this area over the years. So that's kind of the view at the moment. A bit of a pin bar forming on the weekly at the moment. Nothing concrete just yet. No real diversions to write home about at the moment. Just one big, massive cup and handle, inverse cup and handle that's forming. So if we start drilling down to the time frames we're looking to trade, starting with a 3-hour, look how the sellers keep coming in here. Look at all these tails. As we climb, sellers come in, sellers come in, sellers come in. These guys are early, as far as I'm concerned. Smart money is waiting for some structure and probably some noise as well. With we've got some big data coming out today and tomorrow across all markets. So this is still the zone I am interested in for a retest of the flag break. I think if we come higher up, it's also an opportunity, but just looking to the left, there's way too much structure for it to break higher as far as I'm concerned. So if we look at the hour, just have a very careful look here, because what you see is a flag. So that flag, if it breaks, has a measured move equal to the first move down, and let's argue that it's going to be off there, and lo and behold, it lines up with the previous flag break target. So that is still the setup I'm looking at. I think there is a really decent short brewing, and look at the oscillators at the moment. So somewhere in this area is what we should be looking for. So all we need is a catalyst now to drive it. So if you look at the 15 minutes, you can see pretty much nothing happening yesterday, and we are now coming up to the structure that we were looking for. So that is 12,730, and the upper end of this is 12,824. That's 114 point stop loss if you see some structure here, because your stop is going to need to be above the next level. So that's kind of my view this morning. I'm looking for an opportunity to get into this for a short, and that short, let's just argue we get in at this point. We have a 140 point stop loss, but our target is a 500 point move to the downside. Now, important to see that that is a 4% fall in the market again. So something's brewing, we know that. So we can see it in the chart. Something is definitely brewing. We just need to wait and see what that something is. And this move on Tuesday was data driven. And then we've got no real data yesterday, and now we have more data coming out over the next 2 days. So yeah, and this is also driven by the euro. So at the moment, Euro has been pretty stagnant right now. So what we're looking for at the moment is opportunity to short again. And I do think that's going to happen. So these are the two areas we're paying attention to: 12,730 and 12,824. What you can do is you can pick a lower time frame and then look in between these levels. You'll see there is structure. For example, there's a pretty solid bit of structure. There's 4 touches on that level there. So that is 12,761. And if you look further left, you'll see that that lines up with a lot more. Then at the same time, if you take that swing low there, we didn't really test it there. Just look if we've tested it anywhere. We haven't tested that. Even this little range it formed here, we didn't test that either. So that's another area that could be retested. So 12,782. Anyway, I'm not going to draw all these levels in. You get my picture. Wait for a retest or wait for a rejection of one of these levels between 12,824 and 12,730. And that would also, just bear in mind, that would be a break above this trend line. And often when you break a bearish flag like this and you break the upside, the probability of you continuing is going to take a huge catalyst to continue. You've got a 25% chance of continuing in an upward trend, whereas you have a 75% chance of it finding some resistance somewhere and plummeting back into the flag and breaking to the downside. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. Hope it makes sense, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.